Hi, okay, so what we're going to cover in this video is the product criteria, what type of products we should be looking for to sell on Amazon to maximize our success on Amazon, okay? So, first of all, absolute most important is that the minimum price needs to be $17 plus. If the price is too low, after Amazon fees, after what you spend on marketing, what you spend on Amazon ads, and the product cost itself, there's just not going to be any profit left over. So we want to go for a product that has a minimum baseline of around $17. And I mean, $40 is fine, $80 is fine, $20 is fine. We want somewhere in that range between 17 and 100 because there's something that people will not put a lot of thought into when they're buying. If they see the product they like, they're just going to buy it because it's in that kind of sweet spot range where, I mean, it's not a $200,000 apartment where you need to think about it. It's a $50 product, and if they want it, they're just going to buy it. So it sells really well, and there's enough profit margin in that range of prices. The next thing we need to look at is that there's enough demand for any product that we're thinking about selling. Everyone always talks about, oh, you need to create some fantastic new idea and then you can get rich and make money, but it's not true. Really, the best way to make money is to sell what people are already buying. Every day, people are buying tens of thousands of different products on Amazon. All you need to do is have a similar product and it will sell if the demand is there for the market and category overall. And I'll give you an example of that in a little bit. And then you'll see exactly what I mean. And as we run through the materials in this course, you'll see what's proven and what's not. The next most important thing is to make sure we keep the product simple. We're new on our journey on Amazon, on selling on Amazon and e-commerce. We don't try to want to do something too complicated. For example, you wouldn't try to sell a microwave. You wouldn't try to sell an air conditioning unit. These products are much too complicated for a beginner or even a medium level seller on something like Amazon. So we want to keep products as simple as possible, and I'll run through examples and I'll show you what simple is versus complicated. But something like a table mat, a set of bath towels, these kind of products, a set of the baby towels, these kind of products are much more simple, easier to manufacture, have less things go wrong with them, and so are easier to start and generally cost less too, so it's less of an investment up front as well. The final thing that we need to look for is we want low to medium competition, ideally low. Why? Because for the same marketing dollars, the same effort, we can rank higher, we can sell more faster this way. So this is our basic criteria. We're going to go into a lot more detail and we're going to go into a lot more examples, but this is the first step in understanding, kind of what we should be looking for. So as you're going about your day-to-day life at home, at work, in your office, just keep an eye out for stuff that you think, hey, that would probably cost around $20. Those are the kind of products you can add to your list. I mean, if you come across something like a set of table mats, a set of cutlery, for example, these are the kind of things that are in that $20 to $100 price range. Add it to a list, write it down. Keep a record of it. These are the kind of things we can research and look into and see if they're worth selling. So bear that in mind. If it's something looks simple, not too many moving parts and pieces, it's something every day that people use is great because there's always a lot of demand for those kind of products. You think it would sell for around $20, boom, add it to your list. And we can research that later and we'll go through a process of elimination to be left with only the very best products too. So in addition to this kind of basic criteria, if we go to Amazon.com itself, we can see all of the different categories that Amazon sells. And there's a few here that we instantly want to eliminate too, because we're just not going to compete in those areas. For example, Amazon Music, absolutely, we're not going to try and put a product out there. In the gift card section, tablets, Fire TV, Kindle readers, App Store, Smart Home. These are areas that we're not going to compete in. Gift cards here. Amazon Live, International shopping, sure, we can make our product global straight away. So we'll come back to that later. Pet supplies, Possibly, that's a good area. People are spending more and more on their pets. Sports and outdoors, great area. Baby, we need to be careful because it's something that's in contact with babies, and there's rules and regulations around that. It really depends on what item within that category you're selling. Some have more restrictions and certifications than others, so that's something that's very category specific. It's hard to tell you a list of all the products that are okay and not okay. It's something that you have to investigate. Automotive, great space. Arts and craft, great space. Beauty and personal care, great space. Computers, maybe a little bit too complicated for a beginner unless it's something simple like a mouse mat, chair mat. Those kind of basic office products that are simple to manufacture. Electronics we want to avoid. They're just simply too complicated for a beginner. There's too many certifications. There's too much testing needed. You need engineers on staff. Let's keep it simple to start with, and we're going to avoid that section. Women's fashion, men's fashion can look into things like belts, for example, and different accessories. It's worth checking out products in those areas. Health and household, great. Home and kitchen, great. Industrial and scientific, it really depends what, but again, if it's a simple product, definitely room in there. Luggage, okay. Movies and television we're going to ignore. Software we're going to ignore. Tools and home improvement is okay. Toys and games, okay. Video games we're going to ignore. So there's some broad categories that we ignore on Amazon simply because we can't compete against Echo and Alexa or gift cards. We're not going to make products in those areas. So we stick to the product categories where we can make products and can compete. So that full list of that will be included as well, so you can come back to this video and you can check exactly which products to do, and we'll mention it later as well. But so we're looking for minimum price $17 plus, strong demand, simple, low to medium competition, and we want to avoid certain categories where we simply can't compete as well. Okay. So now that we have our product criteria, the next thing I wanted to show you is some real examples on Amazon. And I'm using this awesome Chrome extension from Unicorn Smasher. There's a free version and a paid version. I'm just going to be using the free version to show you. And so what I do is I head over to Amazon, I open up the Chrome extension, and what it shows me instantly is estimated sales for products. And it also shows me the price, the reviews, summarized. So it's just summarizing what for the products for this search term straight into the Chrome extension. It's really, really useful. So going back to our criteria, we're looking for a minimum price of $17. And we can see here that the top 10 products are all over this amount on average. There's a couple below, right? But if we average out the top 10 here, that's what we're looking for when we say minimum price has to be $17. It's not just one item, it's the average of the top 10. So yes, it passes that criteria. The next was saying that we want the demand to be at least 3,000 units. And what this means is, for the top 10 products as a total, are they selling at least 300 units each so that the total number for the top 10 is 3,000? And we can see here, just the first product, the estimated sales are over 5,000 units. So is there enough demand here? If we added all of this up, it's well over 3,000 because just one item is over 3,000. So yes, the demand is there, absolutely. But you can see the estimated revenue is huge for some of these products. So hundreds of thousands of dollars per month for a particular item. And the estimated sales is how many units are sold per month as well. So it's over 3,000, the price is good, the revenue looks good. The next thing we want to consider is it a simple product? And yes, yoga mat is basically one piece of material as a roll. It's as simple as it comes, right? There's no electronics, there's no moving parts. It's just a bit of cut material, essentially. So yes, it's a simple product. Okay, next thing we want to look at is the competition level. And what we mean by that is the number of reviews for a particular product. Some of these are very, very high. So I would say that this is something we need to dig into a little deeper. Just looking at the top ones, there's one here with 22,000 reviews. Yes, there's some with lower reviews, but they could be sponsored products that have been boosted up. So we need to dig a little more. You see, nearly 3,000 reviews, 2,000 reviews. We want to try to start with a product where the average reviews for the top 10 is under, say, 300 or 400 reviews. And we want products where the reviews in the top 10, there's several items below 100. Why? Because the lower the reviews, it means the sooner that you can compete with those items. Because customers go onto Amazon, they look at the main image, they look at the price, but they're also looking at the reviews too. And so basically, if the reviews are too high like this, and your product has 84 and this is 22,000, they're more likely to trust the one with more reviews. So start with markets where the average reviews are pretty low across the top products, and then that way you have more chance to rank faster. Let's look at another product, tent tarp. So basically what this does is it goes under your sleeping bag, under your tent, and provides a protective layer, right? Again, super simple product. It's really, really basic. It's just a piece of material essentially. It has maybe 4 little holes in the corners so you can hook it in with a tent peg. So it passes that criteria. Is it easy to make? Yes, it looks basic. There's no moving parts. There's no electronics. It's just material. Okay, minimum price. So we have some that are under 17 here and some that are over. So we've got an average here of 22.33. So yes, it passes that criteria. Next, demand. 3,000 units for the top 10. Okay, so we have 1,500 for this one, 357, 33, 91. So what I'm seeing here is that the sales are concentrated in the top products and then the rest get very little. So even though this does have more than 3,000 units for the top 10, it may be difficult to get to an average of 300 units sold per month because the sales seem to be concentrated in the top. So when we're looking for the demand, we want not only over 3,000 units for the top 10, but we want to see that it's kind of spread out, that there are several products doing good numbers, because then that way, if ours is in the top 10, we can also expect good numbers. So this is questionable based on this data, because it seems everything's here. These are doing a little too low. These are just okay. The revenues for some products is really high, and for others, it's relatively low. Review count as well. If we look at the average here, across the top 22 products, we've got 493 reviews. I would say the competition is a little high for this item. Maybe we would want to choose something else because the average number of reviews is too high for a beginning product. We've got 3,000 here, 1,800, 400, nearly 1,000, 300 plus reviews. Okay, so we go through all of the products on Amazon, and we use the same analysis, the same criteria. And now that you have a criteria, what you can do is start to build a list of items. And I'll show you in another video exactly how to find ideas for products to sell on Amazon. And then you go into Amazon, you use Unicorn Smasher, you check out the product's criteria, again, using this strategy that we've outlined in this video. So we know what to look for. We'll cover exactly, okay, what items should we be adding into our list to check in the first place in a separate video as well. I just wanted to cover one more product with you using the Unicorn Smasher extension. And basically, this is silicone barbecue gloves. Okay, so the average price here, 13.43. It's too low. It's a very simple item. It's just a pair of silicone gloves, essentially. The estimated sales, the demand is there for sure. We've got one product over 4,000. We've got another over 1,000, 3,000, 1,000, 5,000. So there's lots of sales spread out. So demand is there. The price is a little low. And how about the reviews? 440 on average. It's not too bad. We ideally want under 300 or 400 as the average reviews. So we've got several products with quite high reviews here, but we've also got some low numbers as well. The reason I highlight this is if the price was higher, let's say it was $17, $18, we might consider this item. But this type of product is something sold by a lot of new sellers, right? Anything to do with silicone wedding rings, silicone barbecue gloves, silicone cookie mats. they seem great when we first look at them, but I just want to warn you, avoid anything to do with silicon without really digging in and checking into it, because hundreds of new sellers go after these 3 products I just mentioned right at the start. So it's just something to bear in mind. Avoid trending or hot products, which a lot of sellers are doing, and most people tend to focus, or the hot sellers is just a few items, right? So when fidget spinners came out, everyone piled into doing fidget spinners. You know what's hot. If you've heard about that product before, if you know it's everywhere at the moment in shops or people are buying them, then avoid it. It is tempting to go after that kind of a market, but if you think it's great and it's trending and it's hot, then thousands of other sellers think the same thing. So just try to find something a little different that maybe isn't a hot or cool product in that space and time, and you'll have much more chance of success. So we're going to go through in another video and build a list of products, go through a process on how to create lists and lists of potential good products. But I just wanted to cover this high level criteria with you in this video that we're going to apply as we go through and build that list. And you're going to do the same thing as you're at home, as you're shopping, as you're doing other things. You're also going to build this list. And the very first step of finding an amazing product to sell is simply listing out lots of things you potentially could sell. And then we'll narrow it down to getting to a great product. And we'll show you exactly how to do that. Some other things to consider when you're building a list of product is, one, the categories that we want to ignore. We covered that here. The next is we don't want any electronics, as we said, anything too complicated. We don't really want anything people put inside their bodies because there's a lot of rules and regulations around that. So food, supplements, groceries, we need to be very careful with these kind of products. Unless you have some expertise in this area, I would avoid those at the beginning. The other thing is we don't really want products that have too much seasonality. For example, Christmas trees only sell in December. It's very, very hard to buy the right amount of stock and the right amount of product to sell if you've only got a small window of a month where you can sell the product. We want something that sells well all year round with spikes around Christmas and spikes around special days. That's fine, but we're looking for something that generally is not too seasonal, not just a winter product and not just a summer product, but something that we can sell steadily throughout the year and have a sustainable cash flow. The other thing that we want to look out for is we don't want products to have any patents or trademarks that we can't compete against. Something like a yoga mat. You can see there's dozens and dozens of sellers of the same product. So we can instantly see on Amazon that it's unlikely that there's going to be a patent on this product. Why? Because so many people are selling similar products. If you come across some special product where there only seems to be one seller selling that type of product, it could be because there's a patent on it. There's some restriction on selling it. So you need to look into that further. I mean, if there's more than 3 or 4 sellers selling similar items, most likely there's no legal restriction from you selling that item too. Just something to bear in mind. And for some of these categories on Amazon, some particular products are gated or restricted. And what that means is you need Amazon's approval before you can start to sell them. So as we're building our list of products, we're not going to be concerned about that. But as we're taking our list of 50 items and we're deleting the ones that we think are no good, we're going to bear in mind whether they're in categories where they might be gated, restricted, have some sort of patent or trademark that we can't compete against. We will do that process as we review the products and decide which ones we should go ahead in. As we're building our list of great products that we can potentially sell, we just need to bear it in mind but not worry too much about it, because we'll find out as we do our research later. So really the first step here is going to be to just start to build up a list of products that fit somewhere in the $17 to $100 range, that look like they're everyday kind of products that there's a reasonable demand, and we'll verify all of that in the next steps. For now, we're just going to learn how to build a list of products in the upcoming video, and that's what we're going to focus on. Thank you very much.